A lot of home buyers are interested in condos because they seem like a low maintenance and more affordable buying option, especially for first-time home buyers. And that all sounds great on the surface, but there is a lot that you should know before you even go tour a condo in person. So don't even worry about writing an offer on one just yet. Hi, I'm Bethany, and I'm a realtor with Keller Williams in Columbia, South Carolina. If you want to make your home buying experience a lot easier, like this video and then keep listening because I'm going to deep dive into everything that you need to know about condos. What exactly is a condo? They're not always a high-rise complex. A condo is a condo because it is defined as one by its legal description. It's not defined as a condo because of the way that it looks or how it's designed. Something that looks like a townhome or a duplex could legally be a condo. So once you know that it's a condo, how do you know if it's right for you? We all know the benefits of a condo. Some of those are cheaper homeowners insurance because you are sharing oftentimes walls and ceilings and maintenance with your neighbors and the condo owners association. There are oftentimes amenities involved in some condo complexes. Could be anything from pools, clubhouses, tennis courts, marinas if it's a condo complex that's on the water. Everyone knows that condos give you more free time because they're going to be lower maintenance, which is wonderful. And a lot of people also find that they feel that they have an increased sense of safety when they're living in a condo versus a detached single family home. And a lot of first-time buyers also find that condos in many cases are going to be more affordable than your regular detached single family home. But what are some of the downsides that you need to look out for with condos? Does it qualify for your financing? The very first thing you want to think about, because it really controls everything, is whether the condo is going to qualify for your financing. Most buyers are not paying cash. You're getting financing and that's fine, but not all condos are going to qualify for your financing. In order to qualify, the project has to be what we call conforming. Some projects are, and some projects are not conforming, and we call those non-conforming. That just means whether the project conforms to the rules and regulations of financing to qualify for a loan, and there are a lot of rules and regulations to determine if a condo is conforming for financing. If it's not, you'd have to either pay cash, find another property that is conforming, or find a lender that is going to offer a special portfolio loan for non-conforming condo situations. There won't be many lenders out there like that, and their portfolio guidelines could have a higher interest rate or also possibly a higher down payment requirement. Does it meet your future goals? You want to think about whether the condo lines up with your future. If you think that you want to rent something out or turn it into an investment property, the condo project might have rules and restrictions that control or might even ban certain types of investment property usage. A lot of associations do not allow short-term rentals. Doesn't matter if it's Airbnb or travel nurses for several months or a weekly vacation rental. They might not be allowed. If you think you want to long-term rent and find an annual tenant like I do at my investment properties, you also need to know what kind of restrictions they might have on long-term rentals and a long-term tenant. Can you afford the association fees? Condos have an owner's association, and you have your fees that are going to be paid on a regular basis. Could be monthly, quarterly, whatever it is for that complex. They could be very affordable or they could be very expensive depending on the type of amenities that the condo offers. The age of the buildings, the cost of upkeep, the number of units that are in the project. All of this factors in to the cost that you're going to be paying, and that fee will change if the cost of services that they provide to you change over time. So if your condo has a pool and all of a sudden the labor cost, with your pool company to maintain that pool increases, that cost gets passed on to you as the condo owner. Association fees are not fixed. They are going to change on an annual basis depending on what has happened. Depending on what's changing, it could be a minimal cost or it could be substantial. And that brings me to my next point. Can you handle a special assessment? There's this thing called a special assessment. It's when the association needs to do some required maintenance or maybe some unexpected improvements. And there is not enough money to pay for it. So they're going to pass those extra fees and expenses on to you, the owner, to be able to make those improvements. One high-rise complex here in Columbia neglected upgrades for years until it got to a point where they couldn't ignore it anymore and there wasn't enough money. And guess how they paid for that? By a special assessment. The association was able to get this work financed so that the owners could either pay the full amount up front or pay an additional monthly amount on top of their existing association dues. So that then creates a financial burden on the owner of the property that they were not expecting. And it also creates a challenge to sell that property in the future because you either have to pay it off in full or find a buyer that is willing to take on that additional cost moving forward during their ownership of the unit. All this to say, understand that the fees that you see on a condo, those will change. That monthly fee is going to go up over time. And if you get hit with a special assessment at any point in your ownership, it really could deliver a financial blow for you if you are not prepared for it. Now that you know these things, what do you do next? Read the association covenants and restrictions. Y'all, please get a full copy of the rules and restrictions and read them. It is not your agent's job to read it and fully digest it for you. Yes, we can review it with you and help answer basic questions, but ultimately, as the buyer, it is your job to read everything and make sure that you understand what you're signing up for and what you're agreeing to do and not do. If you don't understand, what you want to do is reach out to a real estate attorney for clarification and to also reach out to the Owners Association to get any questions answered through them. Review the financials. You really need to investigate the finances of the condo association, just like you do the covenants and restrictions. You need to see their budget. You need to see how much money they have in reserve. You need to ask questions like, what are recent repairs or replacements that the project has done? What did that cost? Has that already been paid for? You may want to ask to see copies of recent association meetings. You can go through the minutes and read about what projects and improvements that they might have planned for the coming year. What are the current needs of the property and how are they going to be paid for? Is there enough money in reserve to account for that? You can also check and see how many owners are delinquent on paying their fees. If you have a lot of delinquencies, that's going to affect how much money is in reserve that's available to actually do the maintenance and improvement projects that are needed. Work with the right agent. This is so important. While the buying process of a condo is the same as a home, there are a lot more factors that you have to take into account when you are looking at a condo. So I really encourage you to make sure that you are working with a real estate agent who has sold condos before and that they understand the extra layers of information that you need to sort through. And that's going to give you peace of mind that you have the information and the representation that you need for yourself to be able to make the right best decision for you. So now that you have the facts, tell me in the comments if I have made you think twice about buying a condo. Are you still on the fence or do you have a firm answer, yes or no, if you think condos are the way to go for you? I'm Bethany. Thank you so much for listening. I would love to make your home buying journey a lot easier, whether you are buying your first home or you're looking to make a move to Columbia. Check the description for links to home buyer and relocation resources just for you. Thanks for listening.